Hi there, Sean Simonson here. I'll be moderating today's webinar. We'll get things started very shortly, so please take this time to ensure that you can hear me correctly. You should be seeing the introductory slide to today's webinar on the screen with the title, 5 New Marketing Tactics You Need to Try. If you can't see that, or if you're having any other issues with the dashboard, please let us know using the Q&A button in your toolbar on the On24 panel. We'll be back shortly to kick things off and introduce the host, so sit tight. Hi there, Sean Simonson here from Uber for Business. I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. Thanks so much for joining us. Before we get started, I wanted to take the quick opportunity to go through just a little bit of housekeeping. So if you have a question at any point through today's webinar, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask. You just see it right there in that little circle. We'll allow time at the end of today's session to go through as many questions as you can. And we'll have people follow up with you if we don't get to all of them, so don't be shy. We're incredibly excited to share today's topic with you. So make sure you've got a pen and a paper handy because we got a lot of information to cover. After all, marketing isn't easy. And with recent events, marketers are being challenged to do more with less while looking for ways to interact with their target market. If you're looking for innovative ways to drive engagement with your customers and prospects, you've come to the right webinar. So now let's get started, and I'll introduce today's speaker. First up, we have Jason Liu. He's a product marketing manager for Uber for Business and specializes a lot in our guest products. Second, we have Angie Healy. She's a strategic operations and analytics manager, and she's the expert from the product side. We're really excited to have both of them. Now I'll pass it over to Angie, and we'll get started.
Great. Thank you all for joining today. We wanted to start with a quick introduction of the Uber for Business platform, which many of you may be familiar with. But just to highlight, Uber started as a technology to help consumers request rides and meals. And we built Uber for Business as a platform on top of that technology, centered around helping organizations request those rides and meals. It traditionally started centered around business travel, so helping your business with a seamless solution to track and record expenses associated with business travel and meals. Over the last few years, we have expanded significantly to over 150,000 organizations across the globe and live in 26 countries. And with this expansion, we've introduced a multitude of product solutions for all of your business needs. We now have product functionality like our Central and Vouchers dashboard that allows you to offer an Uber experience to people and serve them in new ways. So today, we're really focusing on our voucher solution and how to use vouchers to delight your customers. Typically, vouchers does help you connect with your customers, not just your employees of your organization, to cover the cost of rides and meals for them. And in today's environment, vouchers has become especially important as we've moved into this virtual world. It allows you the flexibility to request a ride when convenient for your customer. The image on the right there is the vouchers dashboard, or you really can think of it as the command center. We'll walk you through how to set up your vouchers with different controls a little bit later in the webinar. But this command center allows you to set those controls, distribute vouchers at scale, and track those redemptions and costs associated with the vouchers. The phones there show you how easy it is for your customers to redeem those vouchers. At the click of the button, they can add them into their Uber apps. We really have three main benefits to highlight for you when using vouchers for your customer. The first is this is built on the Uber platform. So we have 103 million active users using Uber's technology around the world. So you can use vouchers to delight your customers by covering the cost of a ride or a meal on the platform that they trust. These are super simple to send and redeem. So again, we will walk through in pretty great detail how to create the vouchers and instantly distribute via the channel of your choice. And then customers can redeem with a single tap. And lastly, vouchers, you only pay for what's used. To help maximize your budget, if you have tight budgets, you only pay for those rides or meals that are actually ordered by your customers. So help use that to make your campaigns even larger and more successful. And with that, I will hand it over to my colleague Jason to talk you through how to use vouchers specifically for your marketing.
Thanks, Angie. Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. I'm really excited to talk to you all today about vouchers, specifically around the marketing use case. This is something that I live and breathe every day as a marketer in product marketing. And today, not only will you hear from Uber or from us about how great vouchers are, but I'll also be sharing some experiences from our customers as they benefited from using vouchers. First, I just want to set the stage a bit by thinking about the challenges that we face as marketers. Definitely much more challenging in today's environment, but as we all know, it kind of starts with customer acquisition. And customer acquisition can include driving actual foot traffic into your store, into your building. And this spans all the way to building customer engagement at virtual events and building that long-term value with your customers. And vouchers addresses these different use cases throughout the customer lifecycle. And it also provides ways to drive engagement internally, which is also a big part of what we do in marketing as well. At the simplest level, it makes it easy to cover the cost of rides and meals, as Angie mentioned earlier, in any of these 5 scenarios and more. And it really just depends on your business needs. But the best way to demonstrate how you might be able to leverage vouchers within these use cases is to look at some examples of our customers. So I just wanted to start with this one. This one was Samsung Canada. They wanted to promote sales of their new Galaxy devices. And they could have just offered $100 off their Galaxy devices like a lot of companies do, but they wanted to do more than the typical discount promotion. They wanted to do something unique for customer acquisition, all the while supporting local businesses. This promotion was a resounding success. So Samsung Canada, they saw a 20% increase in sales, which was 30% higher than what they forecasted. And an example like this is really where you see the power of vouchers, allowing you to meet or exceed your business goals in this case for customer acquisition, all the while providing a unique benefit for the end user and customer. Every time they use the promotion for Uber Eats, they're reminded of Samsung, and that sort of brand resonates throughout the life cycle of that customer. Here's a customer testimonial around the food industry. So not sure if everyone on the call is aware, but TGIF, the worldwide restaurant chain, this customer testimonial was actually before or pre-COVID. But a lot of restaurants around the world have been significantly impacted by this situation. And even as things are reopening, it's still critical to get customers to come back. If anything, driving meaningful foot traffic to store locations now matters even more, right? There's a safety element, there's the convenience element of, how do I get there, especially with limited options. And during a time when people may be hesitant to take public transportation, providing Uber trips that follow that door-to-door safety standard adds so much more to the overall customer experience. And on top of that, aside from just what this customer used vouchers for, generally, you can also use vouchers for rides to drive traffic in at slower times. And this works really well in ad hoc situations, right? So if you have like a slow day or a rainy day, and you want to just make the customer experience that much better, vouchers is the perfect solution for that. And we now go to the tech industry. It's just one of many industries that have had to shift their marketing strategies. We do webinars on the normal, but now it's even more critical, like as we shift marketing strategies to virtual events. And the experience of a virtual event is very different. And this Shopify partner was able to leverage vouchers to enhance the virtual event experience that they already had and allow attendees to stay engaged and interested in what they had to say. And let's face it, right? We're in so many Zoom and video conference calls in a day. It's rather exhausting, and there's a need to really engage your attendees or the participants. Planning these events also involves a lot of effort too, right? But with vouchers, Causeway 305, the Shopify partner in this example, they turned around a vouchers campaign in a day, and they were able to provide a unique way to engage their attendees with a nice meal from Uber Eats. In addition to the partner, Shopify, the company, has also used vouchers for their first ever virtual conference. They had to shift their conference to virtual, and they've also used for job candidates who interviewed remotely. Since you used to be able to bring a candidate in, have them order lunch, but in recent days now, Shopify has used vouchers to really just have their candidates order lunch during their interview process. And now it's perfect timing. Just as I had mentioned, the perfect way to use vouchers to engage your attendees. Perfect time to just share a fun surprise of our own on this webinar. We've talked the talk so far, but we also want to walk the walk and share with you the magic of vouchers. So, even though I can't see you all in person, and we're doing this virtually, you all get a voucher to enjoy. We're going to send over the voucher for you to go through as a user and just see how easy it is to use. So feel free to enjoy a cost. Yep.
Jason's right there. We couldn't be outdone by Shopify. The vouchers are really exciting. We definitely want you guys to take advantage of food delivery now. You could just, right after this, order some Starbucks and get it delivered right to your door.
Exactly. So that's great. We'll, hopefully enjoy that on us, and we'll continue on right with the content. So just a couple more customer testimonials and use cases to go through. This is a little similar to the Shopify example, but Progressive was able to provide thousands of meals at scale to essential frontline workers. And this is critical, especially in these difficult times. This is where you see the vouchers platform's ability to scale really shine. Progressive wanted to continue to build its relationships with customers in this socially distanced environment, and they were able to do so with vouchers. Nearly 700,000 frontline workers received vouchers for Uber Eats. The scale and the cost of the program were easily managed, and they were able to deliver all of these within 2 weeks' time of setting up and sending it out. And lastly, this final example is just represented by a large tech company. Similar to a lot of companies, and I guess I just mentioned Shopify as well, but they had held large-scale events, and this one was an internal event, their sales kickoff event. At that sales kickoff, they leveraged vouchers to provide meals for that internal meeting. And there are other examples of internal meetings as well, right? You can always do this for meetings to welcome new hires or any trainings within your teams, et cetera. While this may not be directly a marketing use case, in addition to taking care of our customers as marketers, we also need to take care of our quote-unquote like internal customers as well, or our teams, right? So the main thing to really highlight was just for a large team event, this company was not only able to pay for the amount spent by employees, but they paid for that versus like the maximum amount that they would have paid with a gift card, for example, because as the cost was based on actual usage. And this is critical, right? I think in current times, marketing budgets are under pressure, and you need to be able to control those costs. In addition to the dollars saved, though, employees also reported being very happy. They didn't have to deal with expense reports, and that's always an exciting thing to experience. So hopefully these examples painted a good picture for you, all in understanding really how vouchers can play an important role in your marketing strategy and help make an impact on your business and your customers. I'll pass it back over to Angie now to provide a bit more detail as to how you create, distribute, and even redeem vouchers.
Great, thank you guys. And Jason, if you don't mind flipping the slides for me as I talk, having a little technical difficulties on my end, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So like Jason went through, we have some really great and exciting use cases of how to use vouchers for your marketing needs. I want to walk you through in more detail how vouchers actually can be set up and distributed. So this slide here is showing what I like to call the command center for vouchers. It is built on the Uber for Business platform. So if you already have an existing Uber for Business account, it can be turned on right within there and can direct you to the vouchers dashboard. Once you're in this dashboard, you'll have the option to select Create Vouchers, where you can distinguish if you would like to create campaigns specifically for the Eats or the Ride side of vouchers. And once select there, you can put in your event information. So for example, in the TGI Fridays example, you can title your event TGI Fridays Restaurant Transportation or Shopify Event. Any internal tracking information can also be input within this dashboard too. So if you have particular expense codes or things that are really for internal tracking purposes and you don't want to share with customers, you can also input within this creation flow to show up within your tracking and spend results. After you input the information of the campaign, you'll set up the value type and the controls. So this is where you can dictate if you would like to give a flat credit to your customers, just a $50 voucher to be used at their will across as many rides or meals as they want. You can also set trip or meal caps, so you can give 2 meals for the event at $25 each, 2 rides at $20 each. So you really have the control to set the campaign within your budget restrictions and make sure that customers are using the vouchers how you intend. You can even set the start and expiration dates. So if you're distributing vouchers early, but you don't want people to be able to use it until the start of the event time or given window, you set that start and expiration date for all the vouchers within the campaign creation flow. You can also include other restrictions on the ride side, such as locations. So making sure that they are coming to your restaurant, such as TGI Fridays, that they do have to use the voucher to take the trip there. All of this is housed within that campaign creation flow process. After you set up the voucher and determine your restrictions, a URL link will be generated for you. You can generate this either one link that could be distributed across all the vouchers, or unique links for better tracking on your end. And this can be distributed through the channel of your choice. A social media post, emails, included in a meeting invite, whatever is easiest and best for your customers, the URL link is yours to use. So after you generate that URL link and distribute it within the channel of your choice, we flip to the next slide there. You'll see here the customer then will receive that link. They can redeem with one simple click. So all they do is click that URL. They will be prompted into one of the Uber apps to accept the voucher. It will automatically be included within their app as a payment method and apply when applicable. For those that don't have the Uber app, no worries. We'll walk them through the process to either create an account or download the app so that they're ready to go and use the voucher once it's convenient for them. Great, so like I mentioned, it really is a pretty simple process, only a matter of clicks to set up the campaign at scale to create thousands of vouchers at once, and then your customers can easily redeem. So with that, wanted to quickly highlight some key points that Jason went through, some of those use cases. So you can set these up to be redeemed for your marketing use case. So really driving long-term value for your customers. Like Jason mentioned, Progressive did a campaign thanking their frontline workers, continuing to engage with them in this virtual, unusual COVID environment. These are existing customers that they already had, but just an additional touch base point for them. It's also great for your virtual events. Like we mentioned, whether they're external or internal events, we have the solution for you. This can be distributed to your internal employees or external clients. So whatever the event may be, Vouchers is a great solution, virtual or in person. This is also a great solution for customer acquisition. So in the Samsung example, have your sale or your rebate stand out. Unlike a traditional 20% off or rebate that you may offer, Vouchers is another alternative, giving a voucher credit upon purchase of a product. This is one that we didn't mention in the customer examples, but another great use case that we see for Vouchers is using Vouchers for your sales team to encourage clients to take a meeting with sellers or join a product demo. So giving a voucher as a reward for their time. So those are just some of the key highlights or great use cases that we do see Vouchers fitting into. I will pass now to Sean to highlight some wrap-up points and open for Q&A.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Angie, and thank you so much, Jason. You know, as a marketer myself, it has just been so exciting to see how our customers are using vouchers. And we hope that you guys are delighted with the voucher that you get because it's really just such an easy experience. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be taking questions now. I'd love to encourage everyone. Again, you can tap on that little Q&A button at the bottom and type in your questions. So we'll get started. One of the first questions that we have here, I think, Angie, you can answer this. Have we seen hospitals or healthcare systems use this approach?
We have, in fact, seen healthcare systems in hospitals using vouchers across some of these use cases as well. We have a dedicated team centered around servicing the health space. So certainly get in touch with us. We'll have links at the end of this of how to do so, and we can direct you directly to that health team to help with those needs.
Wonderful, thank you. Someone else is asking, how does the payment process work? So I guess how do I pay for this?
Yes, so this is set up on our monthly billing system. So you would be billed at the end of the month for whatever voucher usage has been used. If you already have an Uber for Business account set up, it can be added into your payment method already on that account and billed directly to that at the end of the month. But we do bill right now on a monthly basis.
Sweet, thank you. Someone asked a question and I just wanted to address the audience. We are recording this webinar. We will be sending out the recording to you afterwards. If you have any colleagues that signed up but weren't able to attend, we will be following up with everyone who registered as well. Thank you. The next question, maybe Jason, you can help. What's the difference between a voucher and a gift card?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. And Angie, feel free to add on to my answer afterwards as well. The short answer is it definitely depends on your business needs. There are certain features of vouchers that we've highlighted here that really make vouchers stand out, right? And particular to the marketing use case, definitely the pay for what you use benefit is definitely great. Helps us rein in our budget and really control costs. And I think there's also other feature level things that we can talk about in terms of differentiation, but that's one of the main benefits of vouchers. But Angie, feel free to add on.
Yes, gift cards is a pay upfront model, so our team, if you get in touch with them, can help you decide what the right solution is for you. But gift cards is an upfront payment, so it doesn't have that pay for what's used ability. And then the other thing about vouchers that is unique is the control that it offers. So gift cards is really a gift to whether you're sending it to your employees or your customers. You won't have any control over how they use it, when they use it. There's no expiration dates associated with that. It's just the amount that you send them. Whereas vouchers, you're really dictating the time frame that they can use it within, how they use it in terms of across meals and trips, any location parameters, things like that. So it does offer a lot more control in that sense.
Awesome, thank you. Someone's asking this question. So it looks like they have an Uber for Business account, and on the back end, they haven't yet used the single link for a group of people. When you set a dollar amount for a group of people and just have one link that you share, how does that work in terms of distribution? Are they able to each get their own voucher, or is everyone cumulatively being using like the set max dollar amount?
Yes, great question. So during the campaign creation process, you'll indicate how many vouchers, really how many people that you're sending it out to. So even if you're using the general link distribution method, if you're sending that out to 5 people, they'll each be able to redeem their own voucher. So you'll set the value types at the voucher level. So there's no cumulative cost. Everyone that redeems will have their own. If you set for a $10 credit, they'll each be able to redeem the voucher for $10.
Sweet. And then is there any way to verify which voucher links were used after someone sends out their voucher links?
Yes, so this is something coming to the platform shortly. We actually have a webinar next week that I encourage you to check out that will walk through this new feature, showcasing how to see who has redeemed the vouchers, but something new that we are adding shortly.
Great. Yeah, everyone, be on the lookout. We do have another webinar coming up next week. It'll explain a little bit more about vouchers and some of the exciting things that we have. So really encourage everyone to attend that as well. The next question, it sounds like someone's trying to set up an Uber Eats voucher campaign for a remote lunch meeting. They have about 9 people in different locations. They're asking, when they set up the day and time of the meeting, can those people in different locations order early, or could they only order during the time of the event? Their goal is for them to have lunch by the start of the meeting.
Great, yes. So you can dictate the time zone within the campaign creation flow. But we do encourage people, if people want to order before the event, if they'll be busy during the event, to increase the window that the campaign is live for. So even if your event is only a 2-hour event, we typically encourage people to have the voucher live for the full day, especially during this time where people have different responsibilities. Some people are caring for children, teaching their kids, opening up that window so that they can use the voucher, not just during your event, but a little bit of buffer on each end is where we see the best results.
Thank you so much, Angie. The next question is, if someone sends out a general voucher link, could the receiver, if they send it to a broad group of people, could they double dip? Could they get it more than once?
This is a great question. So on this, vouchers for one campaign can only be redeemed by one user. So if I did send the general link to Sean, he can only redeem one voucher. We do encourage people, if they have concerns about the link being shared with other people, so say Sean sending it to his friends, then instead of using the general link, do use the unique links so that you can ensure only one link can be redeemed one time.
Great. Thank you so much, Angie. Now, someone's asking a little bit more generally how they can customize their own voucher. I guess it doesn't go deeper, but I'd love if you could talk a little bit more about that. Maybe if you can customize the voucher link.
Yes, this is also on another plug for the webinar next week, but we will go into some customizations launching in the coming months. So right now, we don't have the ability to include your logo within the voucher, but that's something that we will cover in the webinar next week and something that's launching soon. You do have the ability right now, when you name the voucher, that's what the customer will see throughout their voucher redemption process. So the name that you choose is the customization method, making sure they know that you've sent them the voucher. And then we do also have some methods, if you contact us for one of our sales representatives, that they can make sure the links are customized to fit your needs or what you're looking for on how to distribute as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Angie, for answering all those questions, and Jason as well. Again, if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A thing right now, probably, as we're wrapping up. And we'll have someone reach out to answer those that we are unable to get to. Just speaking further, if you want to learn more about vouchers, we do have a landing page that gives you more information. Otherwise, if you think you're ready, please contact our team at business.uber.com/contact-representative. And we can put together a demo for you and give you more direct feedback. All right. Thank you, everyone. We really look forward to seeing you next week.